I just want to let you know, listeners, that we have asked to speak to the Health Minister today. She is not available. Her office has sent us a statement. And I'll ask you this. We're a radio station. We like to talk to human beings. Do you want me to read the statement? Let me know. Do you want me to read the statement? It does go some way to try and explain why the ambulance ramping hours are so high, but do you want me to read it? I reckon the Health Minister should come on. I really do. And I rarely say that, but our health system is continually and continuously in the news. I'd like the Health Minister to come on and talk to me about it, but instead I've been sent a statement on an A4 bit of paper that we printed out. Do you want me to read the statement? 133 882. 4,790 hours, likely to tick over 5,000, the worst January ever for ambulance ramping. Dr. Michael Page is the president of the AMA here in Western Australia. Dr. Michael, thanks for chatting to us.
Good morning, Simon.
Is that okay?
Well, which part of it, the ramping or the lack of a clear plan from government? I think what we need. Look, I share your sentiment that it would be good to hear from a human being, but not just the Health Minister, also the opposition health spokesperson. I mean, we're heading into a state election, and what we at the AMA really want to hear, both from government and the alternative government, is a clear plan to address this crisis of hospital capacity that we currently have in Western Australia. I've heard many explanations, many excuses, and many sort of vague plans to address it. But the fundamental issue is that we don't have enough capacity in our hospital system. Ramping is not an ambulance problem, it's a hospital problem. Mm-hmm. The ambulances are stuck outside the hospital because there's not enough hospital beds to transfer patients into. The emergency departments are full because they can't transfer their patients onto the wards. And so that just has a knock-on effect onto really every part of a hospital's operation and its ability to function. And that's because we don't have enough hospital capacity. It's very clear. We don't have as many beds per capita as we need to. And we need to address that. We need to see a clear infrastructure plan, looking forward over the next 10, 20 years for how we're going to address this in the longer term. And that's what we really haven't quite seen. We've seen some initiatives from government from the state government over the last few years to address ambulance ramping and improve capacity. Some of those have probably had a modest effect and have the potential to have a greater effect. Things like ambulance diversion strategies. If people don't really need to be in hospital, can the ambulance, in a supported way, make a decision? The paramedics make a decision not to take that patient to hospital. Yes, that's probably part of the solution. But actually, at the end of the day, we need more hospital beds. We need to train more doctors. We need to train more nurses. We need more capacity in the system.
Is it a bad KPI? In other words, a record number, 5,000 hours of ambulance ramping outside hospitals. Is it necessarily a bad KPI? And a modern ambulance is pretty well kitted out, Michael, and you've got you've got some paramedics in there. So is it just one of these things we become desensitised to? Is it actually not that bad that we have ramping?
It's not a good thing at all. It does indicate, again, it's not the ramping in itself that's the problem, although it is a problem because it means ambulances are taken out of the system. But it's not the cause of the problem. And it is a bad thing. I mean, it means that we're not able to treat patients in a timely fashion. Have we become desensitised? Why is this buried on page 12 of the paper today? Well, I think it is an element of desensitisation, but I think the community actually needs to look at this and needs to demand from the government and from the alternative government as we head towards an election a clear plan for addressing this that involves infrastructure, that involves capacity, because without that we're only going to go backwards. Many people in Perth and across the state have relatives and friends in the United Kingdom, and they know what a debacle the National Health Service has become there. You go to an emergency department there, you might wait 12 hours before you see a doctor. Sitting in a waiting room for 12 hours with an injury or an illness, it's just not good enough. Do we want to see that happen here? Absolutely not. But is it the direction we're heading in if we don't seriously invest for the future of health infrastructure in WA? Yes, it is. Okay. So I don't think any of us want to see that.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Dr. Page. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Anytime.